Good morning, all. Again, welcome to pcmschool.com. In the last video of this physics class, we have discussed different types of motion. Okay, but we have to concentrate on two types of motion in your syllabus, that is straight line motion as well as circular motion. So, before discussing the straight line of motion, we would like to mention what is called a point body. What do you mean by a point body? So, what is point body? From the name it indicates the body just look like a point. So, point has no dimension, no length, no breadth, no height. So, the body having no dimension is called point body. So, what is the point body? Having no dimension. No dimension means no length, no breadth, no height, or you can say no volume. But it has mass. So it has mass. So this type of body is called point body. So why we are interested to know the point body? Because when we will analyze the physics, we will solve more problems. We will apply the various laws of physics to a body. At that time, we generally take the point body. So that point body is practically not possible. Still, suppose you see this is the sun. The earth is revolving around the sun. And here the distance between Earth and Sun is about 6400 km. So in that case, this Earth is assumed to be a point body. Here the Earth is assumed to be a point body. Okay, so this is the point body definition. Next we will discuss the physical quantity. Next we will discuss what do you mean by physical quantity. So physical quantity. So let us take an example. Suppose you take a body whose mass is m. Now apply a force on this body. So this body will move on a surface. Let the body is moving with velocity v. Let it covers s distance. Let it takes t time. So this t, speed, distance, mass, force, all are called physical quantity. So, what is physical quantity? Physical quantities are those quantities which can be measurable and on which we can apply all the laws of physics. So, this is called physical quantity. Force, mass, velocity, time, work, okay, momentum, everything. So, these are called physical quantity. So, now we will start the physical quantity which is measurable. So those physical quantities are divided into two types. We can say physical quantity are classified into two categories. One is scalar quantity, another is vector quantity. So first, what do you mean by scalar quantity? What do you mean by scalar quantity? So the scalar quantity are those quantity which has only magnitude and no direction. That is the quantity which is represented. The quantity which is represented by magnitude only. By magnitude only, it is called scalar quantity. Just take an example, mass. So mass, we can ask, give me 10 kg rice, 5 kg apple. So this 5 kg apple, 10 kg rice, all are the scalar quantity because it is not associated with direction. Similarly, time, length or distance, speed, work, current, all are scalar quantity. Now question comes, the mass, length, time, speed, work, all physical quantities are called scalar. But current, we know current has direction and magnitude. So why it is called scalar quantity? Why it is called scalar quantity? I will explain. Because the addition of current follows the laws of algebraical addition. We can add current algebraically. That is 3 ampere plus 4 ampere is always 7 ampere. Okay, so current addition obeys the laws of scalar addition, that is called algebraical addition. But I will explain in the later part. So for the time being, remember this is an important question. This is an important question. Though current has direction as well as magnitude, why it is called scalar quantity? Your answer will be current cannot be added vectorially. It is added algebraically. That's why current is called scalar quantity. So after scalar quantity, we can write vector quantity. What do you mean by vector quantity? Vector quantity. So vector quantities are the quantities which are associated by both magnitude and direction. The quantity which is associated both by magnitude as well as direction is called vector quantity. Scalar quantity has only magnitude, but vector quantity has both magnitude as well as direction. For example, you can say, suppose a bus is moving from Cuttack to Bhubaneswar at 60 km per hour. Thus, this 60 km per hour is our velocity because it is because the direction is associated with this quantity. That is, bus is moving from Cuttack to Bhubaneswar. So direction is fixed. Cuttack to Bhubaneswar. With what speed? 60 km per hour speed. Okay. So here this quantity, this is not speed, rather it is velocity, and this velocity is which quantity? Vector quantity. But if anybody will say a bus is moving at 60 km per hour, simple. A bus is moving at 60 km per hour. So direction is not associated. Here it is called speed. Here it is called speed. You see, speed symbol is V, velocity symbol is V. But what is the difference? In the speed, there is no arrow mark. Here you see, in the velocity, we are giving an arrow mark over the V symbol. So this arrow mark indicates direction. So direction of the quantity is taken as vector quantity. Okay, so if a bus is moving at 60 km per hour, simple, then it is called speed because direction is not involved. But here bus is moving at 60 km per hour from Cuttack to Bhubaneswar, direction is fixed, so it is called vector quantity. Okay, so force. So what is the symbol of force? F. Just give an arrowhead. So that will represent a vector quantity. So force is a vector quantity because force has direction. So we have to apply force towards north direction or towards south direction. So direction is fixed. Then displacement. You see, Distance is see. So distance is s. Suppose distance is 50 kilometer, so there is no direction. But if I will say the distance between Cuttack to Bhubaneswar is 30 kilometer, so in that case it will come S with arrowhead. So this S with arrowhead is called what? Displacement. So displacement is a vector quantity. It has magnitude as well as direction. Acceleration. We'll discuss detail what is acceleration, what is force, what is velocity, everything we will discuss in the future classes. Then weight, torque. So these things are called vector quantity. Okay. So now, what is the difference between vector and scalar? So I told scalar quantity is associated only magnitude, but vector quantity is associated with magnitude as well as direction. Now we see, so what is the main difference? That scalar quantities are added algebraically, but vector quantity are added vectorially. What is that? Now see, if anybody will ask 3 kg rice plus 4 kg rice is how much? It is always 5 kg rice. Okay, but force is a vector quantity. Let us say two forces are acting on a body simultaneously. So one force magnitude is 3 Newton, second force magnitude is 4 Newton, If anybody will ask what is the total force acting on this body, so you will add F1 force plus F2 force. So these two force magnitude may be 1 Newton, may be 3 Newton, may be 6 Newton, may be 5 Newton, may be 7 Newton. So every time the force magnitude will change. How? Now force is a vector quantity which has direction. So the magnitude of the total force depends upon the angle between two force. Okay, so we can say the force is a vector quantity which is added vectorially. How you see the example? Suppose this is a body. This is a body. So on this body, two forces are acting. Suppose this is F1 force whose magnitude is 4 Newton. This is another force whose magnitude is 3 Newton. Okay, see the direction of the first force. F1 is towards right, F2 is towards left. So if anybody will ask what is the total force acting on this body, so what is your answer? This is 4 Newton towards right, this is 3 Newton towards right. You have to write F1 plus F2 because you are adding these two forces. But one force is towards right. If towards right is taken to be positive, plus the second force, it is 3 Newton acting towards left. Left is taken to be minus 3 because it is direction. It has direction. So according to the direction, you have to give the sign. So for right side, if you take positive. For left side, you will take negative. So 4 plus minus 3 is how much? 1 Newton. So here total force acting on the body is 1 Newton. Clear? So now similarly, suppose you see this is the body. I am applying two force. So F1 is equal to 4 Newton, F2 is equal to 3 Newton, but they are acting in same direction. So what is the total force? Total force is nothing but the F1 force plus F2 force. So here two force direction are same. So one is 4 Newton, another is 3 Newton. So here you will get 7 Newton. So here the total force, initially it was 1 Newton, now it is 7 Newton. So force magnitude changes. Clear? Similarly, if you take, suppose this is a body, on this body two forces are acting. They are F1 is equal to 4 Newton towards east direction, F2 is equal to 3 Newton towards north direction. If you add these two force, you see this is F1 which is equal to 4 Newton, this is F2 which is 3 Newton. So the resultant force, if you calculate, it will come 5 Newton. The resultant force, it will come 5 Newton. You see here what is the direction, what is the angle between two forces? 90 degree. In the 90 degree case, the total force is 5 Newton. And when they are acting opposite to each other, 4 Newton, 3 Newton. So what is the angle between these two forces? 180 degree. So here total force is equal to 1 Newton. And when the two forces are acting in same direction, so here theta is equal to how much? 0 degree. In that case, total force is equal to 7 Newton. So in that way, the force are added vectorially. And what is the, how can you find the magnitude of two force? So that will be discussed in the class 11. Suppose you see, this is the body. So two forces are acting in this direction. So F1 is equal to 4 Newton, F2 is equal to 3 Newton. The angle is say 60 degree. In that case, the force is neither 1 nor 7 nor 5, something between 1 to 7. So that depends upon the angle. So there is a formula you will read in the class 11. So for the time being, you remember there are two physical quantities. One is scalar, another is vector. Scalar has only magnitude, vector has magnitude as well as direction. Now question comes. This is a question, important question. Though current, electric current has direction and magnitude, but it is a scalar quantity. Why? This is a question. This question always comes in the exam. Now see, suppose you take two conductors. Let us say this is suppose total current is coming here, I total current coming to this junction is I total. So here current through this path is equal to 4 ampere. Current symbol is current unit is ampere, and here the current is 3 ampere. So this is your I1 current through this branch, this conductor, and current through this conductor is 3 ampere. So if anybody will ask what is the total current coming to this junction, so you will add this I1 and I2. You will add this I1 and I2. So what is the value of I1? I1 is equal to 4. What is the value of I2? It is 3. So what is the current, total current? It is 7 ampere. Not like 4 square plus 3 square is equal to 5. So here current addition follows the laws of algebraical addition, not like vector addition. So here the total current magnitude does not depend upon the angle between these two currents. So current added algebraically, just like 3 kg rice plus 4 kg rice is equal to 7 kg rice. So though current has direction and magnitude, but it is not a vector quantity because current is not added vectorially. Is it clear? So this is about the brief discussion about scalar quantity and vector quantity. Regarding vector quantity, you will read a lot of concept in class 11. So now we'll start the straight line motion. Our main topic is now straight line motion. Okay. So let us take an example first. Suppose a student moves from A point. He has to go to his uncle house. He has to go to his uncle house. So first he moves by 30 meter due east. You see, this is north, this is south, this is east, this is west. You know this geographically. So upward direction is towards north, downward is south, right side is east, left side is west. Okay. Suppose a student moves 30 meter due east towards east. Let it reaches at B point. Then he turns about to the north direction and reaches finally to which point? C point. And it covers what distance? 40 meter distance. Okay. So now we will find what is the distance covered by the body. So it is the one-dimensional motion. One-dimensional motion is straight line motion. So it is moving from first A to B, then B to C. So A is the initial point, C is the final point. Now what is distance? What is distance? Distance symbol is S. So what is distance? It is the actual path. It is the actual path covered by the body. Covered by the body. It is called distance. So here you see the initial point is A, final point is C. The man or student has to move from A to C via A to B, then B to C. So what is the actual path covered? Actual path covered is nothing but the length of AB plus length of BC, which is equal to 30 meter plus 40 meter, which is equal to 70 meter. So distance is equal to 70 meter. Okay. Now, if the question is what is displacement? What is displacement? So displacement symbol is also S, but it is a vector quantity. You have to give the arrow mark. So what is displacement? Here you see A is the initial point, C is the final point, or A is the starting point, C is the final point. So displacement is the shortest path between initial and final position or point. Okay. So here it is, the initial point is A, final point is C. Just join AC, straight line. Just join AC. So this magnitude of AC is our displacement. Okay. So now you know Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem. If this is B, this is P, this is H, you know H square is equal to P square plus B square according to Pythagoras theorem. So here H is equal to 30 square plus 40 square square root, which is equal to 50 meter. So now displacement is now 50 meter. Clear? So distance is 70 meter, but displacement is 50 meter. Then what is distance? It is the actual path covered by a body. What is displacement? It is the shortest path between initial and final point. Initial and final position. This is initial point and this is final position. And you know, distance is a scalar quantity. Distance is a scalar quantity, only magnitude. But displacement is a vector quantity, both magnitude as well as direction. So what is the magnitude of this displacement in this example? It is 50 meter. And what is the direction? So direction of the displacement is always taken from starting point to final point. So give an arrow mark from starting point to final point. So here the direction of displacement is from A to C. So A is the starting point, C is the final point. So direction of the displacement is always from starting point to final point. So this is about the distance and displacement. Okay. So what is the unit of distance? Tell me, what is the unit of distance? Definitely the unit of distance is meter. Unit of distance is meter. Symbol is M. In which system? In SI system. What is SI? SI is not school inspector. It is International Standard of Unit. International Standard of Unit. Everybody, every country will accept this unit. That is called International Standard of Unit. So unit of S is equal to meter, and also unit of distance is equal to centimeter. This is in which system? CGS system. This is in which system? CGS system. C stands for centimeter, that is unit of length. G stands for gram, that is unit of mass. And S stands for second, it is unit of time. So unit of distance is equal to meter in SI system, which is generally accepted, and also centimeter, also foot, kilometer, everything. But we take the SI system, generally we will use this meter, or CJ system we use centimeter. Similarly, unit of displacement. Unit of displacement. Displacement is also nothing but the length. So here also unit of displacement is meter. And in which system? SI system. Centimeter in which system? CGS system. Okay. So this is the unit of distance and displacement. Distance and displacement are same. Distance is scalar quantity. Displacement is vector quantity. Clear? Then you see from this example. In this example, you can say the distance. So what is the, in this example, what is distance? What we calculated? Distance. In this example, distance is equal to 30 plus 40, 70 meter, actual path covered by the body. And what is displacement magnitude? So you see, if you write this, that is S stands for S with arrowhead, represent displacement. If you write this symbol, that is magnitude. So magnitude of displacement is how much? 50 meter. So you can say here displacement magnitude may be less than the distance magnitude. So your distance is 70 but displacement is less, 50 meter. Okay. So now we can say displacement may be less than that of distance. Suppose a man moves along this path. Let us say this is starting point A, this is B, again he reaches at C. So A to B is 30 meter, B to C is 40 meter. So initial point is A, final point is C. Okay, so what is the distance covered in this motion? So first he has to cover A to B, then B to C. So distance is nothing but actual path covered by the body. So here it is 70 meter. And what is the displacement in this case? So displacement is nothing but the straight line joining the initial point to final point. So this is straight line motion. Then what is the displacement? It is the shortest part between initial point and final point. So just join a straight line. So this SC is again 70 meter. So in this case we can say the magnitude of displacement is equal to magnitude of the distance. So you see, we can conclude that the displacement magnitude may be equal to distance. Displacement magnitude may be less than the distance. Next one important concept is that suppose a man moves Suppose a man moves in a circular track. Suppose a man moves in a circular track. So he starts motion from A and comes or moves along this circular path. Finally, he reaches at which point? A point. Let us say the radius of the circular path is R. Then if anybody will ask what is the distance covered when the body or man covers one circular motion. So distance is what? Actual path covered by the body. So what is actual path covered by the body? It is equal to its circumference. So what is the value of circumference? 2 pi r. So distance covered by this man when it completes one rotation or one circular motion, at that time distance is equal to 2 pi. Then what is displacement? Just tell me what is displacement. Displacement is nothing but it is the shortest path between initial point and final point. So this is the starting point A, initial point. When it covers complete revolution, again it reaches at A point. That is, A is the initial point, A same A is the final point. So what is the shortest part between initial and final point? 0. So here displacement is 0. Okay, so what is the conclusion? Conclusion here also is we saw that displacement may be 0. Displacement may be 0. So the finally we can conclude displacement may be 0, may be equal to distance, may be less than to that of distance. Okay, so now see displacement, but distance cannot be 0. Distance cannot be 0. As motion progresses, the body has to cover some actual path. So distance cannot be 0. And distance cannot be negative. Distance is always, distance cannot be negative. Distance is always positive. But displacement, may be 0, may be positive, may be negative. So displacement is a vector whose value may be 0, may be positive, may be negative. How? You see, suppose, now see, take an example. Suppose this is the origin. This is x-axis. This is y-axis. Suppose a body A moves towards right and reaches at B point. And what is the distance? What is the length of AB? It is a 5 meter. Another body B, another body say moves towards left. Let us say this is A point. This is C point. It also covers 5 meter length. Then if we will ask, so this is first body, this is the first body, this is second body. First body is moving towards right, covering what distance? 5 meter distance. And second body is covering same 5 meter distance but in negative direction. So in this case, the distance covered by the first body S1 can be taken as 5 meter. Similarly, displacement of first body is also taken to be 5 meter because it is towards right. So if we take towards right as a positive, then towards left is negative. So this is the distance and displacement for first body. For second body, that red color, the second body is moving towards which direction? Left direction. So what is the distance covered? Distance covered is actual path covered. Actual path covered is 5 meter. But this is the distance of second body. And displacement of the second body is equal to what? What is the actual? This is the initial point. This is the final point. Shortest part between initial and final point is what? 5. But it is moving towards left. Left means you give a symbol negative. So what is the conclusion you see? So here the distance always positive. Distance here 5 meter, here 5 meter. But here displacement may be positive, may be negative, depending upon the direction of motion. Okay. So another factor is that distance cannot decrease. Distance never decreases. Distance never decreases. But displacement may decrease. Take an example. Suppose this is a body. So let us say this is A, this is B. So first a body moves from A to B, covering what distance? So AB length is equal to what? 5 meter. Then he returns along same path, B and along same so he moves from A to B, then returns from B to C. Let us say B to C. And what is the length of BC? Length of BC is equal to, let us say, 2 meter. Okay. So if anybody will ask what is the distance covered during this motion and what is the displacement covered during this motion? Now see. So the body starts from A to B, then B to C. So what is distance? Distance is nothing but actual path covered by the body. So first he moves from A to B, that is 5 meter. Then B to C. B to C is 2 meter. So what is the distance? Distance is equal to 7 meter. But what is displacement? What is displacement? So displacement is the shortest path between initial and the final point. So here initial point is A, C is the final point. So what is this SC distance? SC distance is equal to 3 meter. So here displacement is equal to 3 meter. Now see, distance always increases. 5, so initially 5, then 2. So distance is 7. So distance increases. But here you saw displacement decreases. So why so? Because displacement has direction. According to the direction, the magnitude of the displacement may be 0, may be positive, may be negative. So let us analyze if we will compare the distance versus displacement. So you may write on your note, always make a note from this video lecture, just make a pause and write the note. So what is distance? I have already told, just I am giving briefly. Distance is actual path covered. Distance is actual path covered. And displacement is what? Shortest path covered. Shortest path between initial and final point. I have already discussed. So distance is a scalar quantity. Displacement is vector quantity. Distance symbol is S. Displacement symbol is S with arrowhead. So distance unit is meter per second. Here, distance unit is meter. Distance unit is meter. Displacement unit is also meter. So distance may be greater than displacement. Okay, and or we can say displacement may be less than distance, may be equal to distance, may be equal to 0. So distance is always positive, but displacement may be positive, may be negative, may be 0. Okay, so next, distance can't increase. Distance can't increase. Sorry, distance increases. So distance always increases. Distance always increases. You right. Distance always increases. So here displacement may be decreased. Okay, so this is about the distance and displacement. Very important concept you have to remember. Okay, so next is let us take an example. Let us take an example. Suppose a body starts motion from O. Okay, he moves in positive y direction. So this is positive y direction. Let us say this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is negative y direction, -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay. So first body moves from O to A. Okay. First body moves from O to A. Then A to O. Then O to, let us say this is B point. Let us say this is B point. Then finally he reaches at B to O. Clear? So now see the problem. The first body starts motion from O in upward direction. He reaches at A, and all the coordinates are given. That let us say these are in centimeter. The scale is given in centimeter. Then he returns from A to O, then O to B, then B to O. Okay, so from O to A motion, what is distance covered, what is displacement covered? So you see, from O to A, distance covered is equal to what? 4 centimeter. And what is displacement? So you see, this is straight line motion. So always remember, for straight line motion, the magnitude of distance and displacement are always same. For straight line motion, the magnitude of distance and displacement are always same. So here O is initial point, A is final point, shortest part is also 4. So displacement is 4 centimeter. Let us say in positive upward direction we will take positive. So displacement is positive. So now when body moves from A to O, during journey from A to O, what is distance, what is displacement? From A to O, what is the actual path covered? 4. So distance is 4 centimeter. But what is displacement? Here the body is moving from A to O in downward direction. So direction is changed. If upward direction is taken to be positive, downward direction is taken to be negative. So here it is minus 4 centimeter. Okay. So similarly, from O to B, from O to B. From O to B, what is distance? Distance is equal to 4 centimeter. Distance is always positive. But what is displacement? It is minus 4 centimeter, downward direction. Okay, next. From B to O. From B to O. So from B to O, what is the distance covered? Distance covered is actual path B to A. What is the length? 4 centimeter. It is always positive. And what is the displacement? Here it is moving from B to O. In which direction? Upward direction. So upward we have taken positive. So here also 4 centimeter. Now see so you see, compare, the distance is always positive. Distance 4 centimeter, 4 centimeter. It is always positive. But displacement here positive, here negative, here positive. So displacement depends upon what? Direction of the motion. Okay. So this is about the distance and displacement. So next class we will start the speed. Okay. So let us close this class today. So next class we will start the speed and velocity. Thank you.